Hello and welcome. I'm going to be sharing with you my magnetic cuddle body. You can see here in the hands there's a hidden magnet on each palm. It's able to hold and grasp things like maybe it's pacifier or a cuddle toy. This is my original design and I don't have any sculpting to define the elbows or knees. And I decided that it was time to show you some sculpting techniques, and I will have an added tutorial at the very end that you can go to for this. I'm just showing you that how I cinch the head on. It's real easy. You can take it off and readjust your filling, but that's a sculpted body, and I'm happy to do that for free to your doll before it goes out, or the body that you choose before it goes out, free of charge. Or you can follow along a tutorial how to make these little hand stitches to define the knees. And you don't have to do it exactly. I'm going to be doing it differently, a few different ways. I'm going to show you some magnetic accessories, and these are not for children, not under 12. I'm suggesting that 12 and older for magnetic accessories. This hair bow, though, is just a metal clip, but the magnet's on the inside. You would use E6000 glue to secure that, and after it's dry, you can refill your polyfill in the head. Just don't overstuff. Now I'm going to make some decorative little pacifier holders, and you can use various cording. This is a stretchy, it's a crochet yarn and it's stretchy, and I found it at Joann's one day and I'm like, I kind of like this. So you can use various cording for making a pacifier holder. So you would make it the length, double it in length, and do a little loop knot so that you can remove and change it onto any pacifier. I'm going to show you here how I just make a little loop knot. And since it's stretchy, it kind of really works well on as a pacifier holder. Could always replace the cording. And you can double knot that if you weren't planning on removing it. I'm going to show you next here these little wooden beechwood button-like clasps. They are sold as pacifier holders, but honestly, I don't really think you should give these to a child, at least not unsupervised. I'm going to show you how I add some handmade painted beads. These were also wooden beads. And I'm going to be selling these in my shop. You're welcome to take a look at what I have, as well as some pacifiers and magnetic pacifiers. I use this crochet little plastic needle to thread through these little wooden balls, beads. I'm going to give it another little knot to keep the bead where I want it. You just want your knot to be bigger than the little hole in the bead that you're using. And depending on the size of the cording that you're using, some you'll be able to thread through with different little tools than the crochet needle. Just depends on the size. This is a smaller bead that I'm going to bead through here, and I have to go through one cord at a time. And since it's stretchy, it really goes right through the needle just fine, or the bead. So now I have two different sizes. On a small doll, you don't want a lot of heavy weight dangling from the pacifier. It's just going to pull it off and out of the mouth. So less is better for a small doll. It also looks better with a small doll to have less beads. And a bigger baby could have more beads. I like to keep it kind of delicate and light looking, and just do not give these sort of things to children. And I'm going to say under 12 as far as chokeable things. If they don't put things away and they've got younger siblings, it's best to not give to a child under 12 that isn't going to be responsible and safe with their small chokeable items around siblings or pets. Now I'm going to loop it through one of the holders here, and it's the same way I did the pacifier, so that you can swap out and change different clips. If you wanted to, you could add some E6000 glue and secure the ends on the bottom of that clasp right there. I've done that many times, and it looks nice. It dries clear. You can give it another knot and make it more permanent on there so it doesn't come off that easy. And this is a little Cuddle body, so I don't expect you to clip it on the Cuddle body. This will be clipped onto a blanket or something, or a little stuffed animal. But I just temporarily put it there. It's very cute. And with the magnetic little hands and the magnet on the back of the clasp, it will hold on, the doll can hold it. So I kind of like this little idea. And to add a couple magnets in there, I'd probably only charge about $3 more to add some magnets inside the hands of your Cuddle body prior to shipping it out, if that's all you wanted. If you wanted the magnets in the head, you know, another $5, $6 for the magnet on the inside, and then the cost of the pacifier on the outside. It's roughly around I'm going to say about $20 for a pacifier and some magnets as an added accessory. If you were just going to get a magnetic holder or pacifier holder from me, I can sell that without the pacifier for less. It'll be in my shop. I'll have some different options for you. Now this is the little, I think it's called the honey bug pacifier, and I cannot find any more of these little small ones, and I have a feeling that I kind of decided to stop using them because they opened up for the magnet to reverse your magnet, depending on what. If you already had a doll that had a magnet set inside, you could reverse the magnet around so that it would work. There's a pole. It's called a pole or polarity pole. And right now I'm just taking some Mod Podge and stiffening up the edge of this cording so it doesn't fray and it has a nice firm end so that I can bead some beads on there. I'm going to let that dry really well before I show you how I'm going to add some beads on this cording that is, it's thinner. And if you have a stiff end, you'll be able to use it just like a needle. And look at here, next day it's brighter inside my room and everything's lighter in the camera. There's a little magnet, and I'm showing you how that's the direction we want that magnet. And with these little pacifiers, you can open up the little cap and turn it around. Here's an example of it not working in the right position, see? so you could flip it around. The thing is that they had a lot of warnings about not for children under 12, and if you were going to give it to a child, to make sure you use some glue and glue that cap on tight. Yeah, you don't want magnets sitting around children or pets, and that could be why I don't see this magnet anymore. I'm seeing pacifier magnetic pacifiers that do not open up anymore. And I will have some in my shop that are that won't open, and you'll have to put the magnet the correct way behind the lips in the head, and I have tutorials for that. See how that just went right through the bead real easy because the ends were stiff like a needle. I'm doing the same thing I did before, just making another little loop knot. Hold the bead in place where I want it. And since this is a smaller pacifier and a smaller cord, I want to keep it real delicate and light with the beads that I put on here. I might only put a few. I apologize for the brightness. It's kind of hard to see even the string. So I'm going through the loop there. And I was going to go back and re-videotape this entire thing with the lights not so bright, but I just don't have the time to redo my video. It took hours to edit, and I didn't realize that the lighting changed on the last segment of my videotaping. Yeah, normally if the daylight coming through the windows is bright, I don't even need my studio lamps on, and that's what happened is I turned my lamps on that I had on in the evening, and then I just put them on and didn't realize I really didn't need them. And so everything is a lot whiter and lighter in color. Okay, there you go. There's just 3 little beads, 2 little beads and 1 bigger bead. Looks very cute and sweet on this little pacifier cord. Oh, looks like I want to add another one here. You can do whatever you want when you're making, if you're going to do this yourself. When I paint my beads, I paint quite a few all at once, and I'll probably do a tutorial on how I set them all up and paint them, and then I have them ready. The smaller beads are not hand painted; those you can buy. I like the wooden, round, chunky wooden beads, and I like to hand paint those myself. I know that they come painted, but I honestly don't trust the paint that they're using on the wooden beads, and I prefer to know that the wooden beads are painted with non-toxic paint and sealer. When I mean not toxic, I mean I don't want anything that's got lead in my paint. So yeah, there's a little option, just making a little loop to have on the wrist. And look, she can hold her little passy with her magnetic hand. Isn't that cute? So I'm going to just do a side-by-side of my Cuddle body without the sculpting. And I'm going to teach you in another video how to do this sculpting. If you already bought a body from me, or you have one similar and you just want to do a little sculpting to define the shape of the foot and ankle and wrist and knees. I'm starting to make my Cuddle bodies a little bit thicker in the torso. My earlier bodies are a little bit more on the leaner side, not as chunky, and I kind of like the little chunky feel more than my other one. In fact, I will let you know when you're choosing one that's already pre-made, whether it's my chunkier body or my thinner torso body. There she is with her little magnetic bow, magnetic pacifier, and she also is going to come with her regular passy. This is the winning doll that I'm sending out, and I decided to do a few little changes just for fun. I'm always trying to improve, whatever I'm doing. If I'm painting or sculpting or whatever, I'm always going to try and improve the last one that I did. So there always will be some changes when you order from me. Everything's going to be like one of a kind as they keep going out, as I keep changing. And of course I will photograph and share exactly what you're getting. And if you want this done, I'm not going to charge you extra for the sculpting. If you get an empty body from me, I'm going to try and sculpt and see if I can still fill the body. If it would still be easy for you to fill the body with it sculpted. I'll test that out. Otherwise, you're going to have to sculpt it after you fill the arms and legs. And it's not going to be that hard. I promise you, you will see a tutorial.